Sly Paggy, Keto here,
and Mio here to tell you that today we have melodrama,
budding romance,
apparitions,
and bullying in the sequel to our first video discussing the Five Nights at Freddy's anime, created by one of YouTube's most popular animation channels, GHS.
What? You didn't watch our first video on the FNAF anime?
Well, you should, because it's really funny, but the one we'll be covering in this video is completely unrelated, so it shouldn't be a problem. But we should briefly explain who GHS is.
GHS or GH?
What was that voice crack? You can just start GHS if you want to.
Try again.
GHS or GH's, whichever was correct, I don't care, is an animation YouTube channel with over 24 million subscribers.
Couldn't be us.
And over 4 million on TikTok.
Whoa. The company is based in Korea, and regarding the owner GHS's themselves, well, there's not too much information available on them. I mean, people can't even decide whether it's a he or a she, though majority do seem to think that's a she.
The channel features videos made in many different styles by many different animators, and these animations are about subjects that are popular with children, such as Poppy Playtime,
The Amazing Digital Circus,
Squid Game for some reason,
and the topic of this video,
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Didn't need to say that at the same time, but we did.
Go ahead.
No, it's fine. Being a content farm, GHS pumps out these shorts like nobody's business, and reposts them in compilations, much of it random brain rot. That said, GHS, as you stated before, brings a level of quality that other content farms lack.
Sweeteners. That's a 10.
They also have a tendency to lean towards the dark side.
Previously, we covered two of their security breach-inspired anime mini-series, Show Me the Money and To Be Beautiful, two very sad and overly dramatic stories.
We learned in these stories and some other shorts we've seen that GHS has a particular story structure that they like to follow. You'll see it as we go through these videos, but it reeks of teen angst and I am 14 and this is deep energy. This is only enhanced by them using music that I can only describe as emo pop.
Now, without further ado, let us begin our breakdown and review, starting with the video called
To Be Beautiful, Five Nights at Freddy's GHS Animation!
Wait a second, didn't we cover a series called To Be Beautiful already?
I guess this one is different, and based on one of the stories in the Fazbear Frights books. I don't know why I said Fazbear Frights like that. It's really quite confusing, but it also doesn't matter.
This short features a song that's called, you guessed it, To Be Beautiful by Dehusta, but we don't want to be copyright claimed, so that's not the song you're gonna hear.
The short begins with a tomboy-looking girl called Sarah-chan, who seems very short, wandering around a junkyard because kids just wander around junkyards these days. But oh, there's a pretty-looking clown woman robot just sitting there, wearing a star necklace. How queer!
Since she's so ugly and dumpy looking, she decides to take the abandoned thing back to her house.
But why?
At school, the young Sarah-chan has a crush on a handsome boy of the blonde variety, but before she can hand in her love confession letter, she's knocked over by a love rival girl much taller than her. How short is she anyway? The double was face height.
Then some teen boys crush her love letter under their heel, just like we know random bullies do in real life, and her spirit is crushed as well. So sad.
So sad.
But why is the mirror cracked? Man, this school is cheap as frick.
Ha! Turns out, putting strange human-like robots in your room while you slumber is a bad idea, as the robot, whose name based on the wiki is Eleanor, or rather, Eleanor-sama, comes to life and starts giving her an innocent little makeover. Gadzooks! Maybe not so innocent.
Clearly, the artist likes to do some body horror, as we can see with these images. But hark! Sarah wakes up wearing a heart necklace, and she is beautiful! Whoa! Because she is skinny and not short, and blonde. Now she has a chance with her Aryan crush.
She's so happy and hugs Eleanor-sama, but it turns out she wasn't in her room, but a not-so-good, scary place, I think. Eleanor-sama is standing there without her heart-shaped necklace, and then her endo face is showing. Oh, it's a vision. I don't know. Sarah-chan is then dragged into the pit of dark stuff.
Then she's all smug at school.
What happened to the black stuff?
And everyone is shocked by her hotness. She bumps into her crush, Blondie-sama or whatever. How cute. Now he can be horrified.
Sarah appears to be going all to pieces without the necklace. So rather than trying to put it back on, she rushes back home to the garage to see bags of gross stuff that might be her old body parts on the ground. Yet Eleanor-sama has the necklace back again and uses it to transform into Sarah-chan.
Eleanor-sama leaves Sarah-chan to rot with all the rot and closes the rotting door. The rotting end.
Well, this is certainly a retelling of the original story. Never did read the book.
And we never will!
But glancing at the wiki, it seems pretty close-ish with some changes to save time, probably.
The song was created in some sort of collaboration animation thing with the FNAF YouTuber Dako and a bunch of others who did a 3D animated retelling of the story. So I guess GHS saw that and figured they'd make their own anime version, I suppose.
As they must know, anime is how to truly pull on the heartstrings of overly emotional teenagers, and boy, are there some in the comments.
This proves that beauty isn't everything. Don't let yourself suffer just to become beautiful. Everyone is perfect the way they are.
That makes sense. This masterpiece shows us that we don't have to change our appearance. Everyone is beautiful in his own way.
I literally just said that.
Like other comments are saying, to be beautiful, you have to give up everything to change yourself. But even after so much attention on the subject, some people don't understand. They're perfect the way they are. Did I not just say that?
Oh, bruh. Bro wrote a whole
You just ended there.
Everyone is beautiful in their own way. If other people don't notice yours, they don't deserve you.
Who are they quoting? Beautiful animation, spectacular acoustics. You've literally brought that story to life with this. Tit for tat, an eye for an eye, 10 for 10.
This video shows that beauty is pain. Don't change anything about yourself. You're beautiful the way you are.
All of you shut up! I already said it!
Now let's take a look at another FNAF story GHS has taken from the Fazbear Frights books, one that has somewhat recently gotten a video game adaptation, Into the Pit.
This short starts off with a very unique style of animation, and this weird-looking kid, who we're just gonna call Oswald, or rather, Ozzy-kun, is drawing Pit Bonnie, and for some reason there's writing that says, boring.
If I had to guess, maybe his life is boring.
Whoa. Anyway, Ozzy-kun is dropped off at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza by his dad, and the two don't seem very close.
Ozzy-kun is eating and maybe even enjoying some pizza.
I mean, it's alright.
When a ball hits his foot and he's hypnotized into jumping headfirst into a rancid ball pit. He pops out and, wait, what is he doing?
Ozzy-kun has been transported to 1985, and there's a disgusting-looking rabbit mascot. Ozzy-kun takes a balloon from the bunny man, only to find that the rabbit's intentions are far from pure.
Ozzy-kun escapes into the ball pit, but the bunny has followed him. Luckily, Pops arrived just in time to get absolutely creamed by the bunny man. He could be dead. And Ozzy-kun wakes up to find the bunny man impersonating his father.
Ozzy-kun learns some lore that doesn't affect the story. He rushes back to Freddy's to get his old man, but Bunny Man knew this day would come and bites Ozzy-kun. This should realistically break the kid's arm, but Ozzy-kun has been on his training arc and pokes the Bunny Man's eyes out.
Ozzy-kun then hugs his now conscious dad, but Bunny Man grabs a random bat covered in barbed wire to end this once and for all. Not gonna lie, it looks like he might just miss, but who knows?
Overall, very something. Let's see what the comments have to say.
I find it sweet and heartbreaking that even after the son, leaves him, he still protects him, to the end. No period. All that punctuation and no period.
That gave me a literal chills. LOL.
In a masterpiece, y'all. Hello. My heart grew 3 sizes that day, twice. And whatever this emoji means.
That deserve 1 million thumbs up. Okay.
Please make a part 2. I cannot stop watching this. Literally, I cannot stop watching this. Physically, I cannot stop watching this. Please send help. Overall, I would say I like the video game better, but you know, this goes to show that they have all kinds of artists who work in different styles, so that's cool, I guess.
And this short was in fact animated, and speaking of animations, let's look at another animation by GHS. This one more in the realm of security breach. The lore for the game is by all accounts very confusing, so maybe GHS can make some sense of it.
And this is not just one short, no! This is a series of shorts inspired by Security Breach, so strap in!
The first short is called Twoface. It starts with a kid in brightly colored sun and moon garb, in some kind of play. Let us call him Sunny-chan.
But while he's reciting poetry, or whatever he's doing, some bullies, aka the other kids, cause you know there's always the other kids, bully him by pouring bully water all over him, knocking him to the ground.
I must admit that the thought of the other kids not just being bullied but also bullying is crazy to me. But while there, all sad and wet on the ground, he sees a dark mirror, an evil version of himself. How do we know he's evil? Because he has red freaking eyes, you dummy! How did you not pick this up?
The bullies continue to bully him because there are no adults to stop them, and one of them rips his beloved mask apart!
Later, the bullies are doing their performance, and Sunny-chan is moping at the backstage. Then, in the mirror, is that a dark phantasm? It slides a moon mask over Sunny-chan's face as the eyes turn red.
Ah, hey, nah! The play is interrupted as Moon-kun appears, and luckily the spotlight operator knew this was going to happen.
Moon-kun has a knife and cuts a rope that is holding a gigantic, somehow extremely heavy present that was just suspended by one rope above the kids. I would love to sit in on the safety meetings at this school.
The kids are magically converted into raspberry jam. And just like no one did anything earlier, nobody knows something's wrong because it's all just part of the show. And that's the end of the short. Goes to show, be careful who you bully in school.
Not sure what to say about this one. Moving on. Melissa says, the boy is blinded by his anger and getting revenge. I like it! 6 stars, and I thank Jake Daniels for making this song. 6 stars as well, my friend. Cat crying emoji is for the Twoface.
6 stars out of what? The next short is a sequel. Sequel? Called Twoface 2 Dark Side. Sounds edgy.
Moon-kun is upsetty spaghetti that Sunshine gets all the attention, and all the kitties are afraid of Moon-kun. Moon-kun can't even get a good picture. He decides that they just need to get to know him more, so he shuts off the lights and pops out of a pool of balls. This does nothing to aid in his popularity, however.
You don't have any friends. Nobody likes you.
But one little girl likes Moon-kun and wants to play with him. Yippee! They play hide and seek, but a certain yellow rabbit is hanging around in the background. Uh-oh!
Moon-kun starts tweaking out and posting racial slurs on Twitter, but the girl snaps him out of it. Please don't get canceled, Moon-kun!
And he regains control.
The rabbit woman Vanny suddenly appears and hits the lights, and the lights start switching on. Sensing danger, Moon-kun takes off with the girl and tries to stay in the shadows, but after telling her to hide and a slide,
which Vanny totally saw her go into,
the lights catch up with Moon-kun and he becomes Sun-chan!
Why is this so bad?
because Sunshine is either evil or has a completely different memory than Moon-kun or something. I don't know. Sunshine willingly offers the girl as tribute. How sad. And that's the end, and it's kind of weird. Like, how does he change clothes?
Now you would think that this short would be the one they would include in the full Security Breach story. However, they instead include the first one with Anime Boy Sundrop, which is very strange. I truly like that Moon is given some light, since he was terrifying in FNAF Security Breach.
The next short in the complete edition is
Copycat, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach Animation GHS Animation.
It's called Copycat because the song featured is named Copycat. The more you know. The short expands upon the popular fan theory / fan interpretation of the origins of Vanny, that rabbit woman from earlier. You see, Vanny the killer rabbit lady and the security guard Vanessa are maybe the same person.
In the GHS canon, Vanessa-san is a security guard at some place that has the VR Help Wanted game that is infected with a malware, Glitch Trap Sama, which may or may not be William Afton's digital ghost.
Glitch Trap Sama yoinks Vanessa from behind, then is suddenly in front of her? Huh? Also, bodies!
This experience starts corrupting her mind and sends her into a mental maze similar to the Princess Quest game from Security Breach.
By the way, can we take a second to note how the screenplay writers for this short actually know a little bit about the game they're referencing, not like some other YouTube channels.
Hello?
What?
I'm
Whoa!
oh, sorry. I'm scared because you don't know me.
I'm scared because you don't know me.
But don't worry, I just
You're a
wanted to give
monster!
you the
Don't
piece.
trick me! Wah!
Hey, wait!
All that said, references only make sense if you've played / watched the game before, so moving on.
Lost in her mind, Vanessa-san can only run away from the evil black rabbits. While her body is taken over by the nefarious Glitch Trap Sama. While under his control, Vanessa-san dismantles and reassembles the animatronics, I guess reprogramming them to do her bidding. But I'm confused as to why they look like they were disassembled with a hammer.
A bunch of kids, including the security breach. A bunch of kids, including the security breach MC Gregory, are running around playing in a large gray room. But one of them is just a little too slow. Vanessa-san runs from the evil black rabbit things. They're now acting a little bit more aggressive. There's a door, but Glitchtrap says, "Nuh-uh."
Vanessa-san turned Vanny has the kids flanked and cornered. They really do like that whole finger thing, don't they?
In the mind of Vanessa-san, she's still in the Princess Quest maze and uses the sword to kill one of the tar rabbits in what might be a racially motivated crime. But IRL, she's executing children.
Jeez Louise! Glitchtrap-sama has control over the strings, you see, because he's puppeteering Vanny, because Vanny's like a puppet, you see.
Vanny sees herself struggling to get through to herself in a mirror, but Glitchtrap-sama's like, "Nothing to see here," and Vanessa is dragged into the depths while Vanny goes to finish Gregory. Pretty intense.
The next part is titled
Hide and Seek. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach Animation. DHS Animation.
Now Vanny, fully under the control of Glitchtrap-sama, has murdered all but one child. And, this is a little dark.
The violence in child murder is reaching ridiculous levels at this point. The FNAF games generally aren't very gory, but GHS says, "To heck with restraint, blood everywhere."
The girl escapes into the room of audible gasps. Glamrock Bonnie! Bonnie-kun tries to comfort her, but there's not much comfort that can be offered when a murder rabbit woman is right behind you.
Bonnie-kun! Bonnie-kun yoinks the little girl and runs away, but Vanny has control over the whole pizzaplex.
I'm the captain now.
And has eyes everywhere. And the girl cut her hand? Visible confusion?
Bonnie-kun tries to flag down Chica-chan and Roxy-chan, but it turns out that they too are under the control of the wicked wabbit.
Bonnie tells the girl to go, get out of here, while he holds them back. But while she leaves, like, "I'll come back with help," she opens the door and finds Vanny waiting for her.
Monty-chan's arrives and they beat Bonnie-kun to death, while Vanny drags the girl away to her inevitable demise.
Afterward, a purple man,
Who is this guy?
drags Bonnie-kun's body away and dumps him into a golf pond, and all his friends are horrified since they don't know what happened to the good buddy. Why the long face, Monty?
And in the GHS canon, it seems that Bonnie's parts were used for burn trap.
I can't help but think that this short sort of has the same flavor as one of those previous Sundrop/Moondrop shorts. Avatar tries to protect child from Vanny, the child dies tragically. I don't know, a bit of a repeating theme.
And now for the final chapter of the miniseries.
Hello again. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach Animation. GHS Animation.
This short retells the events of Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Freddy tweaks out and then wakes up with Gregory in his room, asking for help to get out of the pizzaplex and away from Vanessa the security guard. Presumably, Gregory knows that Vanessa is a murderer and has escaped her clutches.
Gregory, you need to climb inside my stomach, Gregory.
The main exit is closed, but Freddy-kun does his best to encourage and protect Gregory and lead him around the various fetch quests to gain access to an exit. They also decommission and destroy all of Freddy-kun's co-workers. What a grand old time.
But the time isn't quite old and grand, or rather it's older and grander than Freddy-kun could have expected, as they run into Burn Trap, who in a glitchy mind connection with Freddy reveals that he is the purple guy!
Oh my god!
The man behind the slaughter!
Whoa!
William Afton!
And Freddy is somehow his son, the one in the fox mask that killed his brother in a whoopsie Michael. Afton, that is. Gregory sees Freddy-kun's inner turmoil and hits a button that says fire warning. This is randomly just able to set the whole place ablaze.
The explosion snaps Freddy out of his mental freeze, and they run through the fire, and suddenly the animation is more than 2 frames a second, and they escape the pizzaplex. But hark!
It's one of those movies. It turns out Gregory was a ghost the whole time. It seems that earlier, Vanny really did hunt down Gregory with a British gun, and his body was in the same room as Glamrock Freddy. So the gift box puppet moved the spirit of Gregory into Freddy? Wait, so Freddy is Gregory, but I thought because Freddy wakes up with yellow eyes. Oh, is he Michael because he has blue eyes? Huh? Then he sees the ghost of the original 5 victims from the first game. What is going on?
I don't know, man. It ends with Freddy-kun. What the frick? It ends with Freddy-kun watching the sun rise and some flowers. Also, a newspaper shows that Gregory and 3 randos are missing. And I can't read the rest because it's either Korean or gibberish. The end.
Wow, all of you who are humans becomes a very dangerous animatronic, but they save a surviving child until the game begins. Good animation.
What in heaven's name are you talking about?
Oh man, I didn't realize how talented this animator is. The sad ending though, really hits the feels. Update, 33 likes in 1 month. Now if only I could get a heart from the animator him/herself. Please?
Denied.
The movie is really good and thrilling, like a detective movie.
Honestly, Gregory ending up being a kid soul trapped in a glam rock Freddy would have been a good twist.
Would have been? What did happen then? I love the little hints towards Gregory not being real, like him not showing up in the camera feed, or him not having a reflection. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even notice.
It's a pity it's so short. I would have enjoyed it even more. I adore Vanessa and everything connected with her. I love Vanessa.
Okay.
I think we've done an okay job of showing that GHS likes to make some pretty dang dark shorts, which is odd considering their target audience, but I digress. If you're a decent human being and or one of the cool kids at the table, you've seen our other anime video where we mentioned that they make some goofy, more humorous shorts as well. One such example would be
Sundrop, Heart, Vanessa, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach GHS animation.
why these two characters, I haven't a clue.
Vanessa-san and Suntrap-san? I can't be bothered. Are boyfriend and girlfriend, but there's one massive problem. Sundrop always changes into the rowdy Moondrop anytime he gets darkness exposure.
This leads to the suffering of Vanessa-san, but at least Sundrop-san has a good heart. Kind of.
There's also the Suit Up series, in which Gregory dons Iron Man-esque armor, inspired by the FNAF Security Breach characters. The shorts always end with something wacky and weird happening, and yep, they're pretty short.
So if nothing else, at least there's a balance between light and dark, a perfect balance as all things should be.
But what about our opinions? Has our outlook on GHS changed since our last anime video?
Yes, because these videos are quite dark, to the point of being ridiculous.
I know the FNAF is essentially about child murder, and it's not necessarily a kids franchise, but GHS just took that element of it and ran away with it.
Are we the only ones that find it a little bit weird that there's so much child death in these shorts? Almost always explicit death? There is no subtlety, there is no room for interpretation, there's blood on the walls, Gregory is dead like 3 times.
The weird thing is, this isn't even based on Scott Cawthon's original FNAF. This is about Security Breach, where things are pretty nebulous. We don't really know what happened.
They just fill in the gaps with more murder.
Even with their Into the Pit short, they changed the ending to make it more open-ended and probably dark.
I was about to say that some of them are darker than others, but thinking about it, all of them are about the same, except for the Vanny one. That one, that's a little bit darker.
But you know, despite all that, they are clearly successful. They credit their artists, they credit the music that they use. They don't do anything sus for the most part.
Oh my god! Oh my god.
I'm Chris Hansen, and I want to ask you some questions. Please have a seat.
And their animation quality is usually pretty good. Although animation sometimes is a bit of a stretch, motion comic book might be more accurate sometimes.
We don't know if this actually, scarred any children at all, but if you were scarred as a child by GHS, you let us know in those comments.
And we couldn't help but notice that they also made some Poppy Playtime anime. Quite a bit of it, in fact. So if you want to see us cover that, give this video a nice little like, because if we get a good amount of likes, like, 2,000 or something like that, we'll cover that video soon. Less than that, and we'll cover it less soon.
And Nani, they have their own original series. Wow. Maybe that'll be another video for another time.
But that is all the time we have for today, because we're trying to get this video out with a bit of a time crunch. You see, we only had the video about 5% done by the day that it was supposed to come out, so now we have to do like 95% of the video within 24 hours. It's kind of crazy. So if the video quality is shoddy, that's why.
Plus, I'm also extremely tired, so that's probably not helping anything. If you want to support us monetarily, please consider becoming a member for as low as 99 cents. You get access to exclusive videos that we have yet to record, and if you don't desire to do so, please consider quite chopping that like button and German suplexing the subscribe button.
And speaking of memberships, thank you to all of our channel members, including especially William YT.
That's right, he's a massive fan, which gives him the perk of choosing a game for us to stream. And we're streaming Amanda the Adventure because that's what he requested, so pop in for those streams.
Feel free to check out his animations, they're pretty cool, and until we see you in the next one, check out this video over here.
Oh, this video over here. Until we see you there, in the wise words of Ozzy-kun.
Apparitions?
And bullying in the sequel. And bullying to the sequel. Whatever. And bullying. Let me give you a couple more.